everybody. I'm Sarah. Hi. I'm a UX researcher at Europeana. I'm pretty new to the role. My background is in actually water resources. I pretty recently moved because this field spoke to me and it reflected who I am. So I'm like, why not? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm just gonna follow UX research and see where it leads me. And I'm very glad to say that I'm really, really happy at my job and I'm really loving this field. So going forward, why not? Okay, it's this one, right?
No, because now we put the mouse because there's not enough ports for everything.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm not very good in that unless you find your
Okay. So in the
I just have something again.
So in my mentorship program, my goal was pretty broad. I wanted to write blog posts with my mentor, and I wanted to do a very small project. And how we approached it is that we did a Skype call every week. She set aside time every Friday where we would Skype and see where I am. I would tell her about what was happening, where I need my feedback, and she would give me her feedback. We also met face to face, and she was kind enough to prolong it till September. And this is my Trello board. This is what I made before I even met with her, our first meeting, because I wanted to have a clear goal about what I want from her instead of just meeting her and finding it out with her. So I made this board, and it was a starting point to this mentorship program. And these are I managed to write 2 blog posts. One is starting a mentorship and productivity advice that changed my life. And I linked it here. If anybody is interested, they can see it. And so the project I picked was Synergy. Why I picked it is that after I joined my company, it took a person 30 minutes to teach me how to use it. And it's true for every employee who joins Europeana or any other company who's using this product. So there is a specific person who's just going to teach you how to use it. And as a UX researcher, I couldn't just be like, oh, okay, this is what's happening around me, and then let it be. I really wanted to go like, okay, this is a problem. I like to be a problem spotter, so why not just solve it? And it was a perfect timing. It aligned with the mentorship program, so I just went for it. As you can see, this is like pretty jumbled up. There is no alignment, no nothing. It's just crazy mess. I will show you what it looks like. So I have a small video because I will not be able to explain of the complications without showing you. What it does is that you input your hours with this. Simple as that. And if you're trying to take requests, vacation, this is what you use. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what it looks like. This is the home page. A lot of things, unnecessary things. And then this is what it looks like. And this is me trying to input hours, and I get confused even though I have used it before. And it's true for every other people I talk to. So what you have to do is you select your project, and you have to click the amount of hours one by one, scroll downward, and put it again, go back, and then you have to like here, okay, I'm trying to save a draft. But if you're trying to do more, like most people I found is that do it monthly. So you go it week by week. So you click there and you do it again. And this is, I'm trying to select a project. I don't have a project. I don't know why. And so yeah, I'm trying to do that again. So this is how difficult it is at the moment. And now I wanted to show you how you can like input time if you're trying to take a leave. So what happens is that you're trying to find a document. See what happens if you try to find a document. You have to change the creator to person. I don't know why, like creator to person. I mean, what's person? And this is me trying to find a document, by the way. And then you had to go reset, and I found all this document, and I'm like, this doesn't look like my document. I went back again, by the way, I remembered this path. I like, okay, you have to click person, you have to pick reset, and I'm like, why isn't still there? Because even though I did the right things, then I realized this is my document. It's just that I didn't know it was my document because of other people's name in here. So yeah, so now you have a brief overview of what it is. Oops, I went to a different one. I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so scope of the project. I of course didn't finish everything. I just wanted to redesign 3 pages, and I wanted to see it from an employee's perspective. I did not take a manager or HR's perspective into account. And okay, so what was my process? I did heuristic evaluation, ethnographic study, sketching, wireframing, usability test. And all this process was with my mentor. Every time I did this process, she was there to ask me why you did this. If this is correct, why don't you do it in this way? She was there, and I would show her my results, and she would always give me her feedback. This is me doing an ethnographic research. And as you can see, all the things that I showed you was from the learnings I did from the research. Like every time a person uses it, there's a steep learning curve. And every time you have to click on each box. And booking a day for holiday, you can book the same day multiple times, which means that if you're trying to take a vacation, you might just take a vacation for that same day 5 times. So you're just like losing your day anyway for a simple mistake. And this is my colleague. I really love her hair. And this is just sketching out the rough ideas, what I had, how I wanted to take it step by step. And I did some, this is not the exact wireframe because I edited on my wireframe and I didn't have it anymore. So this is a picture of the final version. And then I did a usability testing, but I could do it only one person. It was a prototype. The person clicked through it, and I realized that a submit button is actually very important for a user. It gives them that understanding that, okay, I submitted this, the system is going to take my hours into account. Before I didn't have it, I just kept it very smoothly, just a simple feedback like we got your hour, we took your hours, but it doesn't work for users. They want a submit button. And here is the prototype. I will just quickly show you what it is. Okay, so this is the prototype. This is what it looks like. And if I go to our entry, I have this. The reason I kept it in a column is because I found that several person puts our different project for different hours, which means that I needed to have a column, because if project 1 is 5 hours, project 2 could be 4 hours. That's why it had to be like this. And it's completely clickable, like you pick something simple, just you browse through and you just submit. And if you want to see something, like it can also extend. Okay, I'll show that later. Okay, this I realized I'm never satisfied with what I designed. Like even after I designed it, I could find 2 more ways to improve this. And I didn't have the time to do that. So now it's just like this. Okay. And for instance, if you're like trying to do it all in one, you just click copy from the last week, done. This is very simple design. It's nothing innovative. This is just pretty simple. And I did 2 pages, as I mentioned. One was request. So for request, like, okay, these are the top 3 things that you would pick. That's why it's here. And balance, what it shows, pretty ordinary here. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the design. I would have like went through with the design decisions, but I realized that I did not go through any of them because I don't know, maybe I'm nervous. Okay, so that's why I have the design decisions based on this. So yeah, So it helps you click on one, it's on the left hand side, and I wanted it to be a very specific color, so it just draws your attention while you're working. You don't have to see anything else, you just click one button and everything's done. And it's grayed out because in case if you have 2 projects, you don't need to see 3 projects and get confused by, okay, why do I have 3? Do I not know about something else? And then it's in a different column. I mentioned that. Here it's the 8 hours because it chooses the time you picked last. And I should also mention that every time I showed it to my mentor, she asked me why I picked 8. Why is this in a column? Why isn't this a row? So I had to walk through every reason why I did it this way, which was a very nice point because it validated what I was thinking and if it was indeed going to work. That was super, super helpful. And yeah, I went through this and I realized that there could be an error. If there's an error, you could just click here and you can go back and it will show you and you can pick another time. That's why I kept it here. And expandable calendar, so that if you want to put everything in a month view instead of just 2 weeks. And here I put all the whole column. Even I did not make it expandable because since it's something that people are planning, that's why they need the whole calendar in a sense, because they're trying to plan something and it's nicer to see it and do that in that case. Okay, so the key takeaway was for me to realize that even though I was the user, I really wasn't the user, because my journey, how it was when I was using Synergy and when I was talking to other people, how they were using the Synergy, even though it's so simple as inputting time, it was so different. So when I am going to take this lesson for like every design decision I'm ever going to make, because I would always remember that I will definitely am never ever the user, even if I'm the user. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you is that have some faith in yourself if you don't already, because with this mentorship program, I am much more confident in myself because as I mentioned, I just moved in this field, and I realized that all the things that I did with my work, and I commute 3 hours daily, all this together, I realized if I just keep, just think that I can do this, I can do this in the end. And if that's true for me, I'm sure it's also true for you. And I wanted to end in that note, that go explore and do whatever you want. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you, everybody.